talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. The she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I have a smile on my face because Jay figured out the formula. Now, before we go any further, I don't want to drag you on, but I want you to understand this video may be a little longer because I'm going to explain to you exactly how our contract negotiations go when it comes down to the monetary, the money. So I'm going to almost admit that I was wrong when it came down to the carrier craft in regards to how much money we make. I need you, if you're watching, to sit down, pull out your own calculator so we can look up some facts. All right. First and foremost, I want you all to think about reality. Regardless of what we think, reality. We have all sat here and we've joked about our cost of living adjustments at 3 cents, 12 cents, etc. I did some research. I spoke to a bunch of people, and this is what I discovered. And you can do your own homework. You can see for yourself. So you don't have to take my word for it. You can check your own pay stubs so you can see how this works. Carriers or any craft, I'm going to say any craft. If you are a career worker for the post office, we have to be realistic. If you know how to go into your EOPF on your light blue, again, I said this is not going to be an easy video, but I need you to follow me because you want to know what you're about to make and what they're negotiating. You need to pay attention because this ain't a bullshit video. This is the real deal. You can pass this on to your friends. You should share this. I've never once told you to share this, any of my videos. You should share this. Go into your EOPF. If you have access to it, in order to get into your EOPF, I really can't break that down, but it is in your light blue. It's time for you to do your own homework. Go into your light blue, one way or another. Go into the human resources. Look for your EOPF file where you are able to see your Form 50s. All right. I want you to look at your own Form 50. Some people can't download it on their phones. Some people can. If you can't download it on your phone, you got to go to a laptop so you can see what your EOPF is. Now, according to every different craft, what I did was I asked them, I said, do me a favor. In 2021, in the beginning of the year, I'm breaking this down. So please don't think, why are you dragging it out? I'm breaking this down. Not everybody has the same comprehension level. I'm simplifying this the best way I can. 2021, the early part of 2021, go into your EOPF file, find your Form 50. On the right side of your Form 50, in 2021, you can scroll down on the right side and look at what your base salary was. Okay? You don't have to do it right this second, but I need you to pay attention. Look at what your base salary, let's say it was in February or March, whatever it was. Look at what your base salary was for you. Everybody has different ones, different levels, etc. Now, unless you're capped out, this is all going to be the same. I want you to look at the same exact time frame, whether it was February, March, April, whatever it is, of this year. So a 3-year difference. All right. So you looked at your base salary back then. We are going to give a, for instance, if you only made, let's say 40 grand in 2021 of February, I need you to look at the difference of what it is of early this year, the same exact time frame, February, March, or April of 2024. A 3-year difference. The average comes out between all crafts that I've spoken to has been $4,000 per year. So it averages about $12,000 within 3 years. Truck drivers are at about $15,000 difference. The clerks, I believe she was at $14,000. One of the carriers was at $13,900. Again, everybody got different pay scales. So we're just going to use, let's do the math. We're going to use $4,000. So $4,000 is a good figure. $4,000. That means back then, if you made $45,000 base salary, right now you're at $57,000. That's $12,000 in 3 years. That's a $4,000 a year increase. And some people say, I don't see it. I don't know about it. I challenge anybody to find a job that's going to give you a $4,000 a year raise. It's what it is. Now, what you see as your base salary incorporates all of your cost of living adjustments, as well as your standard pay rates increases. This has nothing to do with your overtime. This has nothing to do with your night differential. That's what it is. So if you look at that and you average that out to what it ends up coming out to be, it only comes out to be approximately $2 and some change an hour, about $2.25 an hour. And the way you break it down is you take that $4,000 and you divide it the opposite way for the year. 4,000 divided by 52 weeks, then by 40 hours a week, etc. This is where you got to do your own math. So it comes out to about $2 and some change. Some of us believe that we deserve, and here goes, the $10 an hour jump. So what I did, Jay did, and you can do it yourself. Let's just say they gave you a $10 an hour raise from $20 to $30 an hour. Let's just say, sounds great. Again, these are just random figures. $10 to $10 an hour from $20 to $30. And again, we're being realistic. All right. $10 an hour times 40 hours a week comes out to $400 per week times 52 weeks a year. Okay. That comes out to $20,000, $20,800 per year. Okay. Did I do that right? $10 an hour, 40 hours a week times 52 weeks comes out to $20,800 a year times 3 years. I want you to think about what we're doing here. We are looking at a $62,000 a contract that says that we're going to give people $62,000 for the life of a 3-year contract. Think about that. $62,000 in a 3-year contract. They have never done that. That's not even realistic. Let's just go even at a $5 an hour. Let's do $5 an hour. Let's say you're making 20, and those that deserve 25, let's just say they're giving us $5 an hour. Okay? Again, I need you to think about this because this is where they use those numbers. And they got these people that are sitting up top that are crunching numbers. So by the end of every single term, every year, remember, they're doing 3-year contracts. When they do these contracts, it has to make sense. We're going to give the carrier 60 grand within 3 years. It's just not realistic. It's not. And that's just in raises. I want you to look at this. $5 an hour times 40 hours a week comes out to $200, right? Doesn't seem like a lot. $5 an hour comes out to an extra $200 a week times 52 weeks. Times 52 weeks, which is in a year. We're going to multiply that by 3 years. That comes out to $31,200. $31,200. If anybody's lost right now, just pull out your calculator and do your own math. $31,200 for the life of a contract per carrier, per truck driver, per clerk. Not gonna happen for 3 years. What they have been averaging, though, is anywhere between $3,800 and $4,900. That's what they've been averaging per year. So it comes out to being about $12,000 to $15,000 for the life of a contract for the 3 years. Nobody else is doing that. I just need you guys to know that. So if you're making 40 grand right now, guaranteed within 3 years, you're going to be making 55 grand. So when we sit there and they say, oh, people at Walmart, oh, I got a 75 cents raise. Or you say, oh, well, Burger King is starting people out at $19 an hour. They are not making what we are making. This is what the union actually does. And I applaud them for it. Now, for us that are complaining, I'm not a carrier. For those that are complaining about their screwed up president, I get it. But that contract is still going in effect until your new contract comes out. I say all of this because if you're still following me, is that we have to look at things realistic as to what your possible increase can be. We can't look at the little pennies and the little cents. You have to look at what they are trying to give every person for the life of the contract. Again, it has to make sense. It has the cost of living adjustments as well as your pay increases in there. So even though you're like, oh man, they only gave me 12 cents. They only gave me 7 cents. I joke about it too. I never looked at it this way, but you can look at it for yourself because it's been across the board with every single craft. Now I can't speak for the rural carriers. Their pay scale is different. But I can speak for every other craft. When they do negotiations, and we'll do the math for you again, and I need you to understand this. Let's just say they did $2.50 an hour, which looks like pennies to us, because it is. Times 40 hours a week comes out to only $100. Times 52 weeks. How is this less? Comes out to $5,200, right? $5,200 for the year times 3 years. So that comes out to $15,600 for the life of a contract. That's about right. That's exactly your range. If you're looking for what they're negotiating, and I see everybody's comments and I empathize with everybody, but I do know that history has told us what they're going to give us. And we have to be realistic when they go to the negotiation tables, because we're saying we need at least a $5 an hour raise. We need at least a $7 an hour raise. Well, what is it gonna cost a $7 an hour raise? What's it gonna cost a $5 an hour raise? Well, a $2.50 an hour raise for 3 years costs $15,000 per person, and we deserve that. And if you're at $40,000 a year, you'd be at 55 and some change. And that seems about right. So when we say we can't keep up with the Joneses, there's a lot of people that can't keep up with us. We don't immediately see it. You don't really even notice it in your checks because it's so consistent. And I'm not speaking from a manager's perspective. I'm speaking from a realistic perspective, because I get the same thing as everybody else. I just get the truck driver's pay. So please, when we're looking at what they're gonna do next, we're gonna see if they decided to give career carriers, and these are all on the new pay scales. These are all the people from the new pay scales that I spoke to. These ain't even the old ones. We're saying that the people in the old pay scales make more. They do, but I don't see them getting the same type that we get. So if you look at a $3 an hour raise, just 3 times 40 hours a week comes out to $120. Again, you can do your own math. 40 hours a week times, that's 120 times 52 weeks a year. 52 weeks a year. That comes out to 6,240 times a 3-year contract. That's 18,720 per person per contract. You divide that. You get where I'm getting at? Some people are gonna be fussing in the comments. We can't debate facts and history. We deserve a lot of money, but we have to be realistic when it comes down to what they're negotiating in that contract. They're negotiating what the cost of living adjustments are gonna be, as well as the pay rates, our pay rates and the new scales, etc. So I'm hoping that some of this made sense to somebody. There are people that are still totally confused, but some people get it. And some people have never looked at it like this. But understand, this has no money to sneeze at. I don't know very many other crafts that can say, oh, I make $4,000 a year extra every year. Because it sounds good, but it doesn't seem like a lot. Or $5,000 raise. I started at 25, now I'm at 30, now I'm at 35, now I'm at 40. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big jump, and we have to be realistic. This is also why they cutting back on all the extra labor that they've been trying to do, because they're paying a lot of money out, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. But the facts are, stick with these facts. When you guys are sitting there hoping for a better contract, it's going to be a contract, but I think that a lot of the people are going to be disappointed that can't see the perspective of what the hourly rates really mean. Because a carrier that's making $25 an hour, oh, it'd be great to go to $40 an hour. That's a $15 an hour raise. But shit, $15 an hour raise? Whoa. $15 an hour raise times $40 an hour. That's $600 a week times 52 weeks. That's an extra $31,000 a year times 3 years. That's $93,600. $93,600 per person. That's just unrealistic, family. I hope I didn't drag this on too long. I tried to break this down as easy as possible for anybody that wants to pull out their own stuff and look at. If you can pull out your own EOPF, look for yourself. Those that have been here for 10 years, you can just do the math. You can look. You can go back 3 years. You can go back to the last 3 years before that and go back to when these two-tier systems started. So you can see, even though we don't visually feel like it's in our pocket, the math don't lie. That's one thing you cannot make up, math. We can hope for more, but when you see whatever it is they do, they don't break it down the same way like this. All right, this is JH, and hopefully this information was semi-helpful for somebody and gives reality to it. Again, it's not the greatest of news, but it's realistic news. I give the good, bad, and ugly. Now, take it easy on the old man. But again, before you leave, if you still here, read it. Read it. You see it. Read it. It's JH. I'm still doing laundry. Where you at, lady? Where you at? I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.